Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure with my own marathon, almost went into the 90s. Why not this one from 1989? And you could say it completed the Friday the 13th. That being Friday the 13th, Part 8. Which I always like to say is one of the most underestimated films. Because I remember saying this before. This film on any, and I mean any YouTube channel will get a rant. Straight away, you'll get a rant. There's one will shag it off, call it every name, call it the weakest one, blah 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 blah. Which is like ironic because it used to be the fifth Friday the 13th was the weakest of the link. And then soon as number 8 hit the block, that was the weakest one. And even today, people shag it off. People call it names. But I offended this, and I'm going to offend it again. I think it had to do something different, which made it unique. It had to do something different. Everything the same will get boring. And I'm only being realistic. Anything the same will get boring. You know, with that saying, things get boring with age. And, you know, to be word it right, offensive, to be open and honest, I meant to say. They went decided to stop the sets made at teenagers. They decided to start Crystal Lake, and they did something different. It's like they did it before. Before you had Part 8, you had Part 7, New Blood, which was, I forgot to say in the review, starred Jane Hotter as Jason when he made his first appearance as Jason. We all know in every Friday the 13th, it would either be a bodybuilder, it'd be an 8 foot fella with a hockey mask on, or a fucking bag on his head, into number 2. It was always a different guy, you know, with big butts. But Jane Hotter hit the smart and they felt, we'll keep him in this one. And when we got to the 90s, Detective again, Jason Goes to Hell. So in this one, they had to do something different and unique. That is what Fulton was. It goes Jason Goes to Manhattan. Really, it should be called Jason versus the Titanic. It should be Jason on a cruise ship because he's on the ship all the way through the fucking film. I think that's what's the downbeat of the film. Is people wanted to see Jason in Manhattan attacking and killing people in Manhattan, and it wasn't the case. So you get a tape bit of music, and I like the music in this. It goes, people know it's Jason's know, and it's dead out there. I'm turning the song now. You're gonna die of the night, hurt than a knife with only life. And you get to know God and respect in the tainted light in the deadest night. I'm killing the fucking song. But you get that deep bit of music. It's always Manhattan. It does show a love letter to Batman, which you never know Batman was a big hit film in '89. So you do see like a cinema and it just have the opening of Batman. Which I sort of like that. I'm surprised I got away with that, considering Batman was the Water Brothers, and this was done by Paramount. It was the last time Paramount did this film because I thought it bombed, which I don't know why. But then you got these sets made, that's how I was calling with your band being teenagers. Sets made at teenagers. Got a long like going the story. Do we really need to get the story again? But this dopey fucker knocks his thing down the water and it hits electric wire until it brings back Jason from what we all remember in the 7th one. Jane Hotter plays his role as Jason with a hockey mask, kills the lad, and then the girl's hiding, which is stupid in one way. Doesn't start to swim, doesn't get in the boat, doesn't get a dinghy, start to paddle out. She hides in this little fucking party little box. There's both little bit of fuck ups in this because he opens the box and you get the idea he stabs her down there near the belly, right? The main sorts. He stabs her in the belly, right? After for the film, it's more down there. So he stabs them more here, where the heart is. And when you see the body, the aftershots, it's more there. So there's a few fuck ups. It's like there's a scene where a dies in sort of like a sauna and Jason rams toe where his heart is. And then when you see the aftershots, it's more again down there. So there's a few little fuck ups there. I do know originally they were going to do a death scene with darts in the eyeballs, but again, the MPA, board of censorship, did not want to have that, so they had to trim it and delete it out. Typical. There's a lot of deleted scenes, like most of the Friday the 13th films, and this one did have a lot of deleted scenes, but it's not as cut as most of the Friday the 13th, so I'll give it its due. So it's like I say, you've got these people on a ship, you've got one dude, very pretty, he's got a boyfriend, and you've got this guy, he's a bit of a deuce. You've got the idea he's a headmaster on the ship, and they're going on a cruise trip to Manhattan, then it goes with the film. You get one what's a like a doff chick, so he gets her head bashed in with a tar, goes off a day, got the idea she's a bit of a bimbo, and this bit did make me jump out of my skin, actually. She's how you doing? And she's got ideation walking about, and he bashes the door in, and he whams her fucking face through a mirror, and then you get the aftershots of her body. That's what it does, you get a lot of aftershots. I do like one bit where he's running away and she's in a night club. This bit where a lot of people had problems with it because she's hiding and then Jason's there, then he's over there, then he's there, they stood there like that with the hockey mask. It's like a bit like fucking the Sape in the fight in the Friday. This is Friday. I mean, a bit like the Sape meant to say in Halloween, he could be anywhere. A lot of people had problems with that, but I sort of liked it. It made it a bit frightening that Jason could be there. He could be stood over there next to you. Gets her, drags her by the neck, chokes her out, kills her. So they manage to get out the ship. There's a lot of gruesome deaths on the way. And then the Manhattan, you got this one die, it's a bit of a cocky die, but I do look, this is one of the most memorable deaths in any of the Friday the 13th. One of the most memorable deaths because he's hitting Jason, he's hitting him and he's hitting him and he's hitting him, don't do fuck all. He's just that line, just best shot, motherfucker. Jason just gets his head, fucking punches his head right off. I'm not joking, I'm not shitting you. He literally punches his fucking head off, and I love it. So he's then in Manhattan, he gets old, they find out this cheat, so he's an headmaster's a dick. Because the little girl stared the water, well, long girl now, she stared the water, right, and what did he do? What did he fucking do? He said when he was a little girl, he was trying to train her to swim, and he said, if you don't, Jason will get you. Now, when you're a kid, you believe in all that shit. When you're an adult, you think, shut the fuck up, dickhead. But when you're a kid, you don't believe that. And it panicked her. And that's why she was scared of water. And Jason gets, I can put it, if you remember rightly, he does get knocked out and you think he's dead, but then he gets back up and then he kills the cheater, sucks his head in water. So that's that a good death. Chasing him in Manhattan, he gets electrocuted on a train, but he was getting up, and I just love the idea that he's running here, they get into a sewer, and remember that they outsmart Jason. This bit always got me, because there's a guy who works in the sewer, and he says, oh, every night, well, boiling water tunes out the sewer. And I thought, it's a fucking first for me. Does that really happen? But they outsmart Jason, the dirt falls acid in his face, he's screaming in pain, boiling water gets him. You do see like a little boy Jason. I do remember there was a deleted scene where he opens his mouth and you see a little boy Jason. For some reason, they snapped it, thought it was fucking weird, and they deleted it. You think that Jason's going to get him again, and it's his girl's dog. Because halfway through, I forgot to say, this fucking daft punks ducked the girl, right? And the dad dug her up and down the rape her, and Jason comes out and kills both of these fucking dug dealing scumbags, and she gets away. But that's I don't think it was just going to be the last one because it took them years to get the next one, which came out, if I remember rightly, in 1991. And that's where New Line Cinema bought the rights. But I'll wait for the 90s on the marathon for that. But the 85 to the 13, I didn't think it was a bad film. It gets a bad rap. A lot of people call it names, they call it shit, but I respect it. Like, I respect the seventh one, I meant to say. Because they tried to do something different. They tried to do something different. Granted, he didn't get into Manhattan until nearly at the fucking end. That's the only downfall. It could just go Jason on a ship. But I dilute it. He tried to do something different. He tried to do something different and it gets condemned. People say it's the weak kids, but I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. So, Friday the 13th Part 8, it competes the 80s marathon almost. There's few I'm still going to do in the 80s and before I get into the 90s, but into them. Be smart, be safe, and I'll see you soon for some more movies and more things on the way.